So. Dann mal hoch. Wo sie noch
I
nie
should
war.
probably ask Grandma first.
Okay. Dieses
Oh,
Zimmer.
hello, dear.
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your mind?
Would you mind if I took a look in the attic?
I suppose it would do no harm. Come with me.
Ah, okay, sie bringt uns
Thanks,
sogar hin.
Grandma.
You're welcome, dear. Be careful now.
Ich sehe nix. Lichtschalter.
Nothing. The bulb must be burned out. The bulb looks burned out. I'll have to replace it. The bulb looks burned.
Ja, und womit? Ja, aus dem Erdgeschoss wahrscheinlich. Aha.
Free light bulb. Score!
Super. Aber die können wir jetzt oben Licht machen. So. Kombinieren.
There we go.
Wunderbar. So. Teddybär.
Mr. Bear! How did you get all the way up there? Good
Yes.
idea. You just keep watch. I'll do the searching.
Er ist da hochgekrabbelt. Ganz alleine. Aktenkoffer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Mal gucken, ob wir was finden.
A thick book.
Was?
A thick book about math.
Können wir das mitnehmen?
An old typewriter covered in cobwebs. Just some old bills. Nothing interesting.
Das sagst du.
Might be something useful in there.
Dann mach doch mal auf.
Nothing.
Und da?
Empty.
Kaffeetasse.
Decades old coffee. Lovely.
Cool. Dann trinken wir mal.
Yeah. I'm good, thanks.
Das war jetzt
A
ja.
worn office chair on wheels. I'm feeling a sudden urge to do a race.
Regale.
Various books and office supplies. Nothing in particular catches the eye.
Okay. Schubladen. Schreibmaschine. Diagramm.
It looks like someone was doing geometry. I can't make much sense of it.
Okay, warte mal. Oh. 3. Okay. Warte. Diese Färbung, ne? Das ist doch kein Zufall.
Worry. She has enough to think about with everything that's been...
Okay.
Note to self. Remember, the perfect bouquet consists of 3 red roses,
3
a
rot.
blue violet, and 2 yellow tulips.
3 rot,
I've been
1
working on my
blau.
research in the attic at night.
Oh mein Gott.
Note to self.
3 rot, 1
Remember, the
blau,
perfect
2
bouquet
gelb.
consists of 3...
3 rot. Ah, shit, jetzt hab ich's. 3 rot, 2...
Note to self. Remember, the perfect bouquet consists of 3 red roses, a blue violet, and 2 yellow tulips.
3 rot,
I've
1
been working
blau,
on my
2
research in the attic at night.
Nein, halt. Du machst,
I don't see how those things work.
Ja, doch, eigentlich schon, aber okay. 3 rot. Das wäre dann 2, 3, 5. Ah, scheiße. Sorry. Habe ich nicht gesagt. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5, 1. 2, 3, 5, 1, 3, 1. Zwei, 3, 5, 1, 3, 1.
Yes!
Yeah.
A thick yellow envelope.
Das alles. Mehr gibt's hier nicht. Danke, Neveling. Ja, ich konnte mir das echt nicht merken, aber Dankeschön. Ich mag so kleine Rätsel, ne? Die jetzt nicht, das war ja nicht so schwer. Also es war sehr offensichtlich, weil farblich kodiert da und man hat beim Diktiergerät völlig sinnlos, warum sollte er das sagen, perfektes Bouquet, ne? Und deshalb passte das sehr gut zusammen. Gucken wir uns mal an. Umschlag.
It's the envelope I found in the briefcase.
Ja, dann mach den doch mal auf und guck, was drin ist.
Let's see what's in here. There were 2 pictures, a newspaper clipping, a key, and a tape inside.
Okay, noch ein Mikrokassette Dachboden. Überbelichtetes Bild.
Looks overexposed.
Was?
Looks overexposed. I can't make much out. I think I see trees in the background, but most of the picture is just bright white.
Okay.
Grandpa in uniform with 2 other men. Something is handwritten on the back. Flight training. McConnell Air Force Base, 1941.
Okay, wir haben was Neues.
Tragic drowning in Conwell Springs. In early morning on Sunday the 14th, a teenage girl found dead near Conwell Lake. The girl is survived by her mother, father, and younger brother. The funeral service will be held at Conwell Cemetery on the 21st of July. The notice is dated July 15th, 1975. Tragic story. I wonder why Grandpa saved this.
Ertrunkenes Mädchen.
It's a small key, fairly modern design. No identifying tag, unfortunately. I wonder what this unlocks.
Ja, ich auch. Kombinieren mit... Nein. Kombinieren. Zack. Okay.
You've reached the Rain residence. Leave a message after the beep.
Anrufbeantworter, okay.
Hello, Joseph, Mrs. Rain. It's me, Charles, I thought I'd give you a call. Erica just had her firstborn. It's a boy. Thankfully, he looks nothing like his father. Listen, I was thinking maybe you'd like to come and visit. And what about your little Kathy? Maybe she wants to see the baby. Well, anyways, I hope to see you soon. All the best. Bye.
Ja, das war super.
You people make me sick. We're never coming back. Don't call, don't write. If you ever try to contact us, I will call the police.
Joseph, you there? It's me, Cocky. It happened to me too. And I'm not going to tell any of those bastards. They got it all wrong. You're the only one I trust now.
Was ist denn da los?
Just call me back as soon as you can.
Es ist mir auch passiert.
I wonder who this Cocky is.
Okay. Mal gucken, was Oma dazu zu sagen hat.
Oh, hello, dear.
Mind if we talk for a bit, Grandma?
Not at all, dear. What's on your
Auch bei
mind?
Wimmelduell spielen, ne? Wenn ich Spiele gerne in den Chat schreiben. Ich bin nicht so der Rätselomat. Okay.
Can you tell me anything about McConnell Air Force Base?
It's not very far from Conwell Springs. Joseph was stationed there for some time during the war. I believe they're still training young pilots there today.
So, when did Grandpa enlist in the Air Force?
Oh, it was barely past the honeymoon when Joseph left to fight in that terrible war, together with his best friend Charles and my brother Andrew. Those were nerve-wracking years. I was so worried I thought I would burst. Every short visit from Joseph was a joy, but he kept going back to the front, to my great dismay. When I told Joseph about being pregnant with your father, he finally realized that enough was enough. He had done his duty. Shortly thereafter, he returned to a quiet farmer's life in this very house, helping your great-grandfather with the crops, until he passed.
Okay. Wahrscheinlich Vietnamkrieg. Vom Alter würde ich das mal. Also es ist jetzt so 95. Der Opa war 71. Das heißt, zum Weltkrieg 50 Jahre wäre 21, könnte auch das Ende vom Weltkrieg gewesen sein. Wenn er da, okay. I don't know. Vietnam war ja noch später.
Do you know anything about a young girl drowning around here?
Oh, yes. It was the saddest thing. She was only 16. We never really knew the family. They preferred to keep to themselves.
Do you remember the name of the girl or her family?
I'm awfully sorry, dear. I just can't recall.
That's okay, Grandma. I was just wondering why Grandpa would have wanted to save this.
Joseph was always affected by the tragedy of others. Perhaps he wanted to do something for the family. In any case, he didn't speak to me about it.
Okay.
Does the nickname Cocky mean anything to you?
Sounds vaguely familiar. It reminds me of the aviator call signs Joseph and his friends gave one another. Joseph was vigilante. I can't count the number of times he got into trouble for breaking the rules. To this day, I have no idea how he always managed to land on his feet.
Must be hereditary, given the things I've gotten away with. Every time I wake up, I am genuinely surprised that I'm not in jail.
I'm sure it's not that bad, dear.
But to get back to the subject, you don't have any idea of who this Cocky is?
I'm afraid not, but the Air Force might be a good place to start.
Okay. Cocky Rufzeichen.
I don't see a reason to ask her about that.
Okay.
I got the dictaphone already. I don't think there's anything else in there I need to mention to her. Hey, Grandma, do you recognize this tape recorder?
Oh, yes, Mr. Dicto. Joseph used to carry that thing with him everywhere. He could be absent-minded at times. It helped him remember things.
Okay.
I don't think we need to discuss that anymore since I've been able to open the briefcase. Do you recognize this key, Grandma? I found it in the attic.
I'm afraid not, dear.
Do you know anything about this story, Grandma?
Not much, dear. It was the saddest thing. The girl was only 16 years old. We never really knew the family. They preferred to keep to themselves.
Do you remember their names?
Let me think. I'm awfully sorry, dear. I just can't recall.
That's quite all right, Grandma. I was just wondering why Grandpa would have wanted to save this.
Joseph was always deep. In any case, he...
Okay. Look at this photo I found in the locked briefcase.
Goodness, I haven't seen that picture in years.
Oh, da fehlt ein bisschen links. Das wurde aufgenommen, als Joseph in der McConnell Air Force Basis stationiert war. Das hier ganz links ist er.
What about the other two?
I don't remember the name of the smiling man in the back. The gentleman on the right was Joseph's best friend, Charles Wade.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Charles Wade?
Well, I do know he has made quite a name for himself since he and Joseph went to war together. Apparently, he came up with some brilliant piece of engineering for the airplanes. They use it everywhere now.
Any idea how to get in touch with him?
I'm afraid not, dear. I haven't seen him for years. He and Joseph grew apart before you were born.
Any particular reason for that?
Oh, not that I know of.
Okay. Aber das hilft ja schon mal weiter.
I found this book in the attic. Recognize it?
Oh, yes. I bought it for Joseph's birthday once. He was always fascinated by numbers. He believed that math could explain everything in this world.
He was a man of science. There's no denying that. Grams, can you tell me anything about this picture?
It looks awfully bright. Perhaps something was wrong with the camera.
Yeah, maybe. I should try to figure something out tomorrow at the university.
Okay. Ich glaube, wir haben alles. Ja.
Well, gotta go, Grams. Talk to you later.
Bye, Kathy.
Mach's gut, Oma. So, jetzt haben wir ja was wir im Telefonbuch suchen können. Nach diesem Charles einmal.
Damn, no Charles Wade in here. Was worth a shot, but being rich and famous and all, I guess he's got a hidden number.
Okay.
No hit for Wade Industries either, but it was kind of a long shot for them to have an office in this small county anyway. I should try to get a hold of him some other way.
Okay.
Nah, nothing like that in here. All right, got it.
Okay, dann.
McConnell Air Force Base, how can I help you?
Hi, I was just wondering if you had time to answer a few questions.
Sure thing, ma'am. Ask away.
I'm trying to get a hold of Charles Wade. Would you happen to know how to reach him?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but Charles Wade is a public figure.
He has explicitly asked us not to provide his contact details to anyone.
Okay.
Is there any way you could make an exception? I really need to talk to Mr. Wade.
Oh, can do. I can't really help you out unless you have some sort of official business.
But what if it was a matter of life and death?
Ma'am, if you're in a life-threatening situation, I suggest you call 911.
Okay.
Do you recognize the aviator call sign, Cocky?
Afraid not, ma'am. I know all the call signs here, and I'm positive it's not one of them.
This isn't current, though. It might have been used as early as World War II.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We don't keep any official records of call signs. The only option I can think of is to get a hold of somebody who was around back then.
Any suggestions?
The only person I can think of who is still alive would be Charles Wade.
All right, thanks.
My pleasure, ma'am. Anything else I can help you with?
I don't see a reason to ask him about that. What can you tell me about McConnell Air Force Base?
This is one of the oldest Air Force bases in the U.S., established during World War I. The main purpose of it is to train fighter pilots. The McConnell Flight School is well-renowned all around the country. In the late 80s, the school started accepting a limited number of civilian applicants due to the high demand. Some of the most famous dogfighters in U.S. history, such as Ethan Fireball Jenkins, Joseph Vigilante Rain, and Brett Savior Myers, trained at this very base. Charles Wade, the great industrialist, did too. Some claim that many of his revolutionary ideas came from the former chief mechanic here, the late Niles Bloom.
Interesting. Thanks for the history lesson.
Okay.
Do you know anything about what happened to Joseph Rain in '81?
I know that he was no longer stationed here at the base at that time. He'd left the Air Force decades earlier. But as a Conwell Springs citizen, sure, I've heard the rumors just like everybody else. How he was found by the sheriff all messed up, walking out of the woods with some kind of unexplained brain damage.
Any theory as to what he was doing out there?
I'm afraid not, ma'am. But I'm positive that it had nothing to do with this base or our operations here.
Okay, what can you tell me about his service at McConnell?
Well, Joseph Rain is a legend around here. His pile of medals weighs more than my car. I was fortunate enough to meet him before he suffered his injury, and I must say, what an inspiring man. I'm positive that he would have made General if he'd stuck around.
Any idea of why he quit? He looks so happy in the pictures from the war.
Oh, your family, ma'am?
Granddaughter.
Well, then I'm sorry for your loss. I heard about his recent passing.
Appreciate it, buddy. So, about him quitting.
I shouldn't speak ill of the dead, but some say the war broke him. PTSD. Me? I don't think so. When I met him, he had this aura about him, like he wasn't afraid of anything. Maybe it was just guilt. He ended a lot of lives, but that's just me speculating.
Gotcha. Thanks for the thoughts.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a hold of Charles.
I'm sorry, man. He has...
Is there any way...
Oh, can do.
I do have official business. I'm Deputy Reagan. I'm calling from
Nice try. You know what caller ID is? Goodbye.
Damn, I can't pull that off if I call from here.
Ah, okay. Das heißt, ich muss von der Polizeistation anrufen. Machen wir. Aber auf Friedhof haben wir auch was.